Чи дивиться взагалі?
Так. Ретельно я не думаю, що хтось Мирослава поглянув, задавали питання там. Вже то може після глянемо, бо зараз так напишуться. Так зібралися. Юра, Роман буде сьогодні?
Він питання задав, я Джиму задав вже питання від нього. У нас була дуже гаряча дискусія на рахунок одного питання.
Добре. Ну, бо Роман, ми з ним то обговорили, він запускав цей симулятор і там знайшов кілька нюансів, що емуляція не повна під російських команд.
А можете ще раз розповісти?
В мене класний той жар-файл запустився.
Ну, так це воно і все. Це симулятор підбігає, якщо він не покаже. Just a second.
Yeah, hold on a second.
We unexpectedly just started this simulator in Mac.
Oh, very good, good.
So I just to show you that it really works.
Ні, він теж так до того Java, яка мені встановилась тепер на Windows.
Зараз скажу. Ні, покажи де Java. Тут же підросло, на щастя, покоління, яке під Windows не виросло.
Перший раз відкрилася Windows з себе.
Це ще щось треба налаштовувати, воно не знаходить.
Тобто той жар, який вони запустили.
Так. Ну, то щось треба вжитися. А ви запустили так звану нікому, що я казав, чи ні?
Ні, там
Юра, от за таким, ну, тут я щойно вам сказав, запустіть отак.
Я по-іншому запишу, як його запустив.
Ну, думаю, не знаходиш, от вас пас не прописано. Добре, ну тоді вже після. So,
We're in good shape. I have no time limits. I have no time limit. I could. There's no, I'm fine.
every time we have problem.
I will find just.
Okay. Oh, you're very low. Up. Oh, very good.
Це ікона?
Да, тільки шлях світ додягаючи. Ну, типа, вот перед. Це шлях.
Ні, ти папу симулює. О, Боже.
Да.
Тобі трохи було легше буде.
Мені не подобається. А ще я не поставила драйвера, і в мене
Мені
не
подобається він далі.
Ну, я з тобою дивлюсь.
Боже.
Що? Ну, ви ж тебе починали на танці.
Я чудесно тобі встановила.
Мені нічого не встановили. На термін.
Зараз. Я в мене буду. Туринець. fine. We need one simulator, yes.
No. If you have the green card, if you have that green, the one thing I sent you guys,
Yeah.
I called it a green card.
Yeah.
I forgot how much. But I don't need it, you'll need it. So if one of you guys just put it up on your screen, we'll be all set. Okay?
Yeah.
So, the goal today is I'll write a program on the board,
Okay.
and then together we will assemble it.
Oh, okay.
We'll do what the assembler does, okay?
Yeah.
So, my concentration here on this, our get-togethers, are more in, not like, here's how the move instruction works, it takes stuff from here to here, adds 2 registers, and adds this and this. So I'm more interested that you guys know this, and as we go through the instructions, I'll mention how each one works. Okay. So I'm gonna write an assembler program. Now, one of the things that always has to be done is the caller, somewhere along the line, is going to call another program. The caller, the call. So somewhere it's going to call the call program. It's going to do stuff, and it'll need to return back to the instruction after the instruction that called it. Good? Okay. The second thing it needs to do, so one thing, part of the linkage is that when you call a program, somehow you got to end up going back to the instruction after. The second thing that has to happen is that when this guy calls this program, somehow all the registers have to be saved someplace. So when we go back to this guy, everything will be left, returned exactly the way we started. Good, make sense? Okay. So there's a standard thing called the save area. The save area is 18 full words. So we can call the save area anything we want, but in this case, we'll call it save area, so you can remember. And it's going to be 18 full words. 18 full words, 18 full words. And they'll be formatted in a special way that I'll get to. Okay, so 2 things have to happen. One is when the caller calls a subroutine, the subroutine does its thing, and somehow it's got to get back to the same place. Second, that when this guy calls a subroutine, all the registers, like as this guy had them, has to be returned back the same way. So, we're not going to write a program. So we have this program, we'll call it Program A. It starts off with the code section. So this is an instruction to the compiler. Just tell the compiler, hey, I'm going to write some code. The first code I'm going to write is a store multiple I'm going to put R's in front of these, just so you know that the registers. So the first instruction is a store multiple. What we're going to do is instruction is a 6-byte instruction, but what it's going to do, it's going to store register 14 through register 12. Where? In a place pointed to by register 13 plus 12 bytes.
Can you tell more about registers?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. So what's happened is this guy is calling this program. So this program is this guy. Good. This sets up an area in this program, something called a save area, and it's 18 full words. You're okay with this statement?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the guy that called us also is using the same method. So this guy So this caller has created a save area in this area in the caller's program. And register 30. So this is this area, 18 full words. And what's pointing to it by convention? Register 13. Good?
13 and 12.
13.
It's a pointer
Just all will be revealed soon.
Okay.
Okay. So register 13 points to the caller's save area. And then somewhere along the line, he says, branch to program A. So this program calls this guy. One thing this guy knows is when he gets called, the register 13 points to what?
That's the start of the
The
second.
caller's save area. So the first thing this does is I've got to save all the registers in the other guy's caller.
Okay, but
So this guy doesn't save the registers when he calls somebody. The called program saves the registers in the prior program's save area.
like his register.
Yeah, and here's what he's going to save. Let's take a look at what this does.
Like all the stuff.
Yes, but some other stuff. All will be revealed.
But can you just tell more about registers and
That's what I'm going to do right now. We're going to go through each one.
because
So this statement is a store multiple. It's going to store from register 14 to register 12. So what registers will it store? It's going to store 14, 15, no 16, 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this will store the range of registers from register 14, or 16 registers, guys. Remember that? There's 16 registers. So if I'm storing from register 14 to register 12, what registers am I storing? 14, 15, 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Where am I going to store them? So this is the range of registers being stored. Where? To the address pointed to by 13 plus Charlie bytes. C bytes. 12 is C, right? So what's going to happen? Right now, when I'm doing that instruction, that program just started, register 13 is pointing to what? The caller save area. Offset 12 is 12 human or computer C. 14, 15, 0 is the rest. 12.
Can you repeat one more time?
Yep. Program X calls program A.
Yeah.
Program A starts running.
Yeah.
It's up to program A's responsibility
Is to store.
to store everything in the caller save area. You'll see why. Just hold off a few minutes. So the first thing it does is stores what? All the registers are stored from so when this guy executes this statement will take register 13 points to this. Why? This guy hasn't touched register 13 yet. He's looking at the contents of register 13, but he's not changing anything. And it's up to this guy to make sure he sets up a save area that's how big? 18 full words. 18. And he's going to start storing register 14 where? Offset C. So this instruction took all the registers, like this guy got them,
And replace it, like all of
and filled up these storage areas. This is in memory. The registers are pieces of hardware registers.
Ah, okay.
Oh, and then this is step.
Yeah, now it's
Okay.
yeah. And when it will call program B, it will make the same.
And then when program A calls program B,
It will make the same.
program B will, this is the first instruction of,
Program B.
and he'll save
One.
all the registers in here. Very good. Good? So now we did that. The next thing we have to do is what they call get or establish addressability. This program needs to establish addressability for the base register. So there's a Valor. Actually, this is like ours. No, Valor is an interesting instruction. Valor stands for branch and link registers. What it will do is this. This is what the instruction does. Valor does this. It stores the instruction address register into here and branches to the address here. So say that again. Right now, where is the instruction address register pointing?
On the.
Not here.
To the beginning of the next.
The next instruction. So the IAR. I'm kind of maybe confusing. Everybody else calls it the instruction address register. IBM calls it the PSW. that's why we get a lot of money, because we know these words. So, instruction address register, address register contains what? The address of the next instruction. So, what does the Valor instruction do? It takes the instruction address register, PSW, and puts it into this register and branches to this register. The address contained here, except address 0. Register 0, if it's register 0, it says, no, I'm not going to branch. So what this instruction does is effectively puts this address into register 12. Good? This instruction takes the address of the next instruction and puts it into register 12. So this becomes so now register 12 becomes the base register. So we have two things going on now. Register 12 is the base register, and register 13 will point to
0, yeah.
the savior. Now we have an instruction, the using instruction. We have the using instruction, which is an instruction, not a machine instruction, but an instruction to the compiler, to the assembler.
Start using,
Yeah, so let's,
like to start executing this register.
yes, use this register.
All the commands.
Asterisk, in most computer notation, asterisk means
Everything.
here. It means sometimes everything, two things. On some regular expressions, it means everything, like a wild card. It also frequently means here. So here is this offset. So the assembler is going to remember this. Register 12 is this point. Here I'm going to put the offset. So the program starts at relative location 0. The C-sec is an instruction to the assembler, so it doesn't take any space. Store multiple is a 6-byte instruction. Valor is a 2-byte instruction. This is an instruction. This doesn't assemble to any machine instructions. This is an instruction to the compiler, to the assembler.
And 0.
So 0 length.
And the forward is the program in the register.
Yeah. Now, the next instruction is a. That's okay?
Yeah.
2, right. 8, 9, A, B, C.
What is LA?
Jim will tell us what is.
What?
What is LA?
Oh, I'm going to tell you now. This is load address.
Load address?
Load address.
Load, okay.
Okay. Store, so here's store. Store goes from where? A register to main memory, storage. A load goes from memory to a register. Most instructions go like this, except storage. So what this does is, it's going to take, what we want to do here is to take, we want to take this address and put it into register 2. We want to put the address of the first of 18 full words into register 2.
Yeah.
And that's what this does. Takes the address of save area, puts it in here. This is a 6-byte instruction. So 8 fingers, 9, A, B, C, D. Oh. Zuri. Good? Now, the next instruction So what does this do? Store goes from right to left. At this point, what is in R2? The actual address of this guy is in R2. So I'm going to put whatever's in R2 where?
From 0 to the 13.
Okay. R0, whenever it's used for an address, is just assumed to be 0.
Like from range, from 0 register?
No, not a range, just it takes the contents of this, plus the contents of this, plus 8, gets an address, puts this value in. Let me do that again. First, right now, R13 is pointing where? Yeah, because it's still pointing to that first guy's save area. I pointed to this in this. So, R13 is the address of this byte. So we want to take the contents of R13 plus 8, contents of 13, contents of 13 plus 4, the contents of 13 plus 8. So what it's going to do is take the address of this save area and put it in here. Wait, I made a bunch of. It's going to take this head. I'm sorry, let's start over. Save area is in R13, that's this save area, that's this. So it's going to take, R13 doesn't point to this yet, but it's going to take what will be this value and put it in here.
Like it will take SR forward.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a chain of who called whom.
Yeah, so if we had program X, which is pointing to the next one, so if we're now executing program A,
Right.
we'll change the pointer of the next program after program A.
So this is program A.
Yeah.
Program B
It will be program B
will go into here.
pointer. Yeah, it will be program B pointer.
Yeah, and then we're also going to point back. Good. Again, R0 has usually the way this store works, it computes the address of R13, whatever's that, plus the contents of 8 plus 8. 0 is special. When it sees R0, it doesn't even look inside R0, it just says, you mean 0. Finally, so save area is this program's save area. And where's it going to put it? It's going to put it in R13.
But we moved it already, like it's on the left side.
Yeah. We don't have to do anything more to this. All we wanted to do with this guy's save area, what we want to do is this guy's save area, the call program is responsible for filling this up.
Yeah. But it's on the left side. No.
Yeah. So now that, we're not going to do any more with that until what?
After that,
At the end of the
next
program.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back. The contents of R2 I do some more. Oh. I'm my apologies. Let me go back to this one. The save area plus 4, which is this. Okay, at this point, R13 is still pointing to
Next.
the prime. Okay, so at this point, R13 is still pointing to the caller save area. So I say, put my save area address
4 bytes forward.
but put my register 13 pointed to what's pointed to by 13 plus 4. So this is my save area. Save areas in register 2. Register 2, which is this address. put into register 13 plus 8 that establishes this one. So this is the forward pointer.
Yeah.
And then register 13, which is still pointing to this guy. This contents is put into my save area.
Of the previous program.
No, yeah,
And for
it's my save area pointing to the previous. So now I have links both ways.
yeah, okay. And for what we need backwards pointer?
Here's what happens practically. Okay, what happens? Two reasons. Our biggest reason is
Errors?
A calls B, B calls C, C blows up.
Yeah, and it's
The problem is not C, it's
A. Okay. Error.
A or
Error handling.
yes. The second is what's going to be the last thing we're going to do before going back to the caller? We need to return. We need to set all the registers like they were when we called them. When this guy calls us, we're saving the registers here, but now we're going to use them. So this guy cannot operate on this program's values. He needs his old values back. So we're going to return. When we return, we're going to give this guy back everything like we got it. Good?
Okay.
You look like an unbeliever.
No, it's, I'm just visualizing.
It's okay. I just put in one instruction just to show that this is a whole bunch of instructions of things we'll do in this program. So now we're all set. At this point, we're ready to do stuff in programming. And I'm just doing something stupid like contents register 4 is added to the contents register 3. That's it. There's several ways to do this. We'll talk about other things we can do. we'll have some other modifications, additions to this. Right now, we'll leave it simplified. Good?
No. Can you explain like what?
Oh, yes. So here's the usages of the registers, standard usages. R14, it contains the address of where to go back. So R14 is the address of the next instruction to be executed of this guy. So when pick up X, when this guy, program X, called program A, the
I just was confused about this.
I made a mistake there. Okay. This guy had to call this guy what this instruction will do, it will put R15 R15 contains the address of this program.
Yeah, return code.
Yeah.
Okay.
R14 is the return. So the current address, when this executes, the current address goes into 14
From the
and
program.
it branches to this guy.
Yeah, it's like if there will be a program B, it will go backwards. Like
It'll go that way, yeah.
it's like the return of program B will come to program A and then to program X.
Yes.
Коротше, де якщо от програма X викликає програму А програма А викликає програму Б, Б закінчилась якимось ретурном. В той ретурн поміщається спочатку програму А в регістр 14, а потім 14 регістр програми А, вона поміщається в регістр 14 програми X. Я правильно?
Ну, наскільки говорив, так, до рекурсії.
Так.
Потім назад.
Yeah.
Good?
Good.
I'm sorry. So, what I want to do now is we're first going to get the offsets, and then I want to assemble this to machine code. You guys good? I've never done this early in a class, so if this is very hard, that's okay.
I feel it, like,
It's pretty hard?
I feel it like it's hard.
Yeah, I expect what you'll do, we'll go over this several times, and you need to go over it again at home. I think you guys can handle it.
Yeah,
You guys seem to have been, so far, I've been doing everything a lot faster than normal. So now let's see this code section. Instructions to the assembler say, hey, I'm starting to write assembler code. This starts a code section. So this is going to be all turned into machine language. Store multiple is a 6-byte instruction. And I made notes about what it's going to look like. That will cheat you. Hmm? Get that. It's 12. Okay, make sure I got this right. Okay, 90, 90, 14 to 12. E through C. Register 13.
It's D.
Offset 12 bytes.
00C.
So where does this come from? No.
He'll send me.
Okay.
Programa also.
Yes.
Фактично повністю дошку.
Я вже тільки його сказав. Код ще не змог. Та я не тільки машини код назад зможу.
We passed out before, I sent like something called a green card.
We have it.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. You can look at
Маєш там
Okay.
ось це. А коли у мене просто на телефоні, то він стоїть на...
Like a 370 card.
It was general.
Yeah, that's what I sent you guys.
Yeah, I had it. Z. What's the name of it? Oh, reference.
Yeah, that's 370 reference card. Okay, so this is the reference card. This is the major thing that you want to make it a little bigger, okay. And then let's go down. Okay. I'll let you go. Okay, go on. Okay, so the first one we have is store multiple, STM. Yes, store multiple.
Here, like it's the
Yeah.
page.
Yeah, but you want store multiple, yes.
Store multiple.
No,
It's down. It's like it's this.
oh, I see, yes. Store multiple.
STM.
Store multiple. Okay, so let's take a look at that format. Store multiple is a 90. Good? Then, this is showing you the assembler statement. Good? So where I got this from is from that card on that line. Yes? You see how that equals this?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is the machine format? Where's store multiple? Okay, it's an RS type instruction.
Storage to register.
Yeah, window down.
Down.
Down. Keep going. You see those boxes?
Okay. This one. No. It's over.
Oh, you're, yeah,
It's not full one. It's no more pages.
okay. Ah. No. Yeah, you want
It's like, it's the second page. It's like
Yeah.
2 pages, 14 and 15.
Yeah.
А, не висилась ця штука? Це не референс сайт?
Upper?
Yeah.
Ей, юний.
Oh, here it is.
It's
I'm sorry. Okay, this is an RS type instruction. So the opcode is 90. Okay, so let's take a look at what I got here. So I wrote down 90.
Ти розумієш? Бо я не можу допустити.
Okay, 90. What's the next two?
It's like first storage.
14 and 12. So 14 is a human number.
But E is like, is where we can find
That's what we worry about, because we're not human.
Yeah, it's C.
12,
It's C, yeah.
12,
Yeah.
13,
With Z. And it's hexadecimal 12.
00C.
Hexadecimal 12, yeah. I see.
А 90 це замість?
So it's operation code.
Ну, все супер, да, є.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have opcodes and operands.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
we can go
Okay.
You
forward.
could do it at home and then check if you have done it right.
Yeah, make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, that's good, because you could do the next one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so first we're gonna look for Valor.
Yes.
I thought if I could get through this with you guys, that's like a really great accomplishment.
Can you say the full name of this company?
Valor, B-A-L-R.
Okay.
B,
I found it.
yeah, okay. So here's what you have to find out. Valor,
Is register to register.
right, there's 2 registers.
Okay.
What is the opcode?
Register check.
What is the opcode?
05.
Can I try to do it like
05.
05 of course. It's
Yeah.
register to register coming.
So this is
05.
05.
And the next one.
But see, you have to go to our instruction to see what's the format of this is assembler, but what is the machine format?
Yeah.
So you got to look at the RR.
Yes. I understand. Okay.
I know you guys already know, but I want you to just understand how this card works.
First operand and second operand.
Yeah. So the first operand is a,
12.
no, you're human.
I see.
I don't want humans in the class.
C,
C.
sorry. Yes, it's C. Oh, it's 0.
Finally, humans and machines agree.
Хорошо. Okay. Yes.
Okay, now, using here and 12.
Okay.
Okay, now, we're going to be using this very shortly, okay? So, the assembler, you guys, remember in your head, is register 12 has something to do with here. Here is offset 8.
I like it.
We're going to see. So, this is not going to take any
Yeah, it's like
instructions,
we are going to the next one.
because this is an instruction to the assembler, not the machine.
Okay.
So now we're going to have an LA save area.
Okay. LA is 31 is the old code.
Opcode is 41.
Yeah. 2.
So it'd be a 2.
It's 2, yeah. 3. And safe area, it's 18F.
18F is the size.
Size, yeah.
So here's what's going on. It doesn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, the assembler doesn't know. But there's 2 parts to the save area. The save area is going to be an offset from this using. But we don't know what the offset is until we get done. But we do know the base register is register. So you see what's going on. Assemblers are 2 pass. It's got to go through this twice.
Yeah.
The first time it's going to come up with little empty things because I don't know what's going on.
And then
So once he figures out where save area is, he's going to go back and start filling them in.
Okay. And the next comment will depend on the filling.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, I'm not doing this, but the assembler's got like tables and names. And you follow me?
Yes.
So save area is the name of an offset. It's an offset from this.
Is hexadecimal 2, does hexadecimal table starts from 0 or 1?
We're programmers, we don't do human.
Okay. 0?
So the offset we'll be talking about,
By heavy rating 0 is the base register, like C.
right, so base register now, and we'll see where this is going to get loaded.
Чому там C, Luis?
Yeah.
I will explain while it's...
Go ahead.
Тільки що ж пояснила. Ну, коротше, ти коли заповнюєш команду, там є 41, 41 команда, другий регістр і сейф 12. Типу, 12 регістр. Ти ж не знаєш, чи наскільки далеко воно піде. Типу, ти тільки коли закінчиш програму, тобі вернеться то все назад, воно дійде ще раз до 12 регістру і почне вже на 12 регістрів. Yeah.
Learning is taking place.
Бо це регістр базовий, там де зберігається і наступне.
So I'm using offset in hex because that's where, and the reason I'm doing that is later on that's what we'll be filling in. Okay, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8. Oh, what did I do here? 8, 9, 8, B, C. Wait, I'm. This is an SS instruction, yes?
Going to RX.
This is my 41.
LA is RX instruction.
Road address R2, 41, 2C.
It's like it's first is opcode, second is register operand 1,
Yeah.
and the next 3 parts it's address of operand.
Yeah.
3, not. Why 0?
Wait,
Like it's.
I'm missing. Wait, there's something missing. It's got to be 4 bytes. So 1,
more,
2,
no?
3, 4.
It's and. No, it's after C we need 2 more bytes.
Yeah.
Not 4.
Well, these are hex digits.
А, так тому що останній буде
Yeah.
3 показуватись.
Then what?
So let's go look at that instruction. Let's see the area. Maybe, let's see, SA, first SA there. Load address, LA. Where's LA?
Here.
Okay, that's what you want. It's an RX. Okay, 41, 2, this equates to, so this is 2 registers plus DDD. And this index register is not being used. Okay. Let's take a look at the
RX.
okay, so this is the RX. It's R1, X2, B2, D2. The first one is R1,
Yeah.
next
X2,
X2,
B2,
R2,
B2, B2, D2. No, it's RS.
RX, RX.
R1,
Let's
X2,
do RX, yeah.
R1, X.
Or RL, okay. I'll do RS. RS, 2 nibbles, R1, R3, B2, D2.
One we are on RS.
We're doing RX.
Pardon? R1,
What we are doing, like what RS?
so I'm writing down the machine code here. I'll write the assembly code here, then I'll write the.
Yeah.
But RX is R1, then X2,
X2,
then B2,
B2,
and D2. Yeah.
okay. So when we do this, this will be R1, 1 hex digit,
Mhm.
X2, 1 hex digit,
And our hex digit.
B2, 1 hex digit, three hex digits. Good? Then when you go to the instruction,
ST.
yeah, the instruction itself,
It's our
we don't need the load address.
Of LA?
RS. ST.
Yeah. So this one is
ST is RX.
ST, the first one should be in R1,
Yeah.
R1, the D's,
D2.
X1,
X2, B2.
oh.
Yeah.
So, R1,
The last one to be B2.
B2, not register. It's in. Like,
this is like B2.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying here. Okay. And then D2 turns into these three.
yeah.
Luckily, the only time in your life you'll do this is now.
Сказати слава Богу. Thanks God, yeah. У мене good зайдан.
So in this case, save area, I can describe only with a base register plus a displacement. So the X is 0. And then 3 nibbles for the displacement.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Uh, 50. Yeah. 50.
50.
Хорошо. It's Eric's.
Now in this case, everything is specified, right?
Yeah, it's all specific.
0, 50, 0, D,
Yes, yes. Now we can do
fingers, C, D, E, F, wait. No,
It's okay.
she looks like. She had that non-believing look.
He needs sunglasses, you know.
Yes. I need the glasses. Okay,
Like, she needs sunglasses.
so here's another store. We're going to store the contents of R13 in save area plus 4.
Yeah.
Oh, into this save area plus 4. Did you just write?
Excellent, вибачте.
R13 is still pointing here. Oh, it's the save area. So I see this guy is this guy plus 4. So 13 is going to be stored in here.
Yes.
I'm all set to call somebody else.
First is R1. Що C, R14 is C?
Yeah, C, 50, this is the
No, like R14
index.
is zero. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, CD, 50D, C,
R13, а туди.
0,
А,
004.
мені теж подивимо. Yeah.
Zero, 1, 2, 3. One. 182. I did this just to have, you know, do something. I sort of, there's several things, ways to do this bottom part, I'm just kind of showing a little bit. Load.
Well, it's like A, B.
Let me do this again. I don't know where save area is. This again.
Just that.
Load, 14, index, base, displacement, plus 12.
Ну, буду йти назад. Що за кнопка? Просто екстра AI. Ще раз.
Okay. What is linked are not the program entry points. What's linked are these save areas only. Do you understand?
Yeah.
What we're linking are not the programs,
Okay, let me explain.
just the save areas from the programs.
I will explain to her.
Please, yeah.
Тобто,
This is real hard. I expect you guys to have a lot of trouble.
команда асемблера. Типу, ми переводимо от, опкод. Це машинний
Та
код.
я шарю. Мені-
А що ти? Я не розумію.
Я не знаю, що означає біту.
Ну, гран, типу, B2, адресов. Зараз.
Тихо, якщо шарю означає біту і діту, то я буду розуміти, що там відбувається.
Так, RX. Яка була ST? Ладно, давайте ST.
Все, я шарю. Можна брати, я вже все знаю.
слово.
Мені треба бачити там думку. Ти ж так само і була. Я така, в смысле, Девід?
Окей.
Okay, so you get that, we're linking the save areas, not the programs.
Yeah.
Good. XOR,
То XOR чи XOR?
logic function.
Yeah. No.
So one way to have register, I want 0 and register 15. So one way to do that is XOR. And then I branch to the contents of register 14. Register 14, as I got it, is the return address to program X. It's the statement right here.
Це воно як повністю програма бере цей space і зберігає в сектор.
Ви смієтесь. І я така, в смислі? Де? Я починала вас далі шукати.
Я не мені взагалі не скажу.
Мені дуже складно.
Yeah. Fine. I think it's enough for now.
Aren't you happy the computer does this?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like no way. Every time you mention this pages to find the number.
Yes. Now, all assemblers work this way. All machines ultimately have to do something like this. Now, what IBM does is they have like these separate call areas, so they're physically at different places in memory.
Different programs.
Because one program calls another, we don't know where the program loaded. So, so this is a concept a couple things I wanted to do today. One is give you an introduction to this. We'll go over it again, because this is important to understand. Not because it's IBM, but everybody does about the same thing. If you understand this, then you can do reversing on IBMs, on PCs. Now here's what you have. You have your this is address space. In this case, so who decides where program X is loaded? The operating system. You just tell the program, I want to execute program. You have an executable, you write the name, all of a sudden it starts executing. Well, first, before it executes, the operating system has to put it in memory. So it just later on, program X calls the command. determined by the operating system. So, in our model here, each one of these guys has a save area. Now we're going to modify this tomorrow, not tomorrow, but the next class. Because I don't want to get to, I was going to get into re-enter the code next class. It's late. So, next. And then the double linked list, in terms of double links. So if this guy crashes, you can find program A, or the things when it was operating. Maybe the problem is program X. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is a little bit about, help you out, like viruses. Now, what originally happened is, especially with PCs, the first program always went into the same place in the address space. Just, operating system didn't want to work all that much. So every program was loaded in the first place. But if I know where the program's loaded, and I want to change some code, I know where to start.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it doesn't work that way. They load it at random places. So I cannot just zap in and say, well, I know I had the code. I know this is at offset 16. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to overlay this. Well, you can't do that now because you just don't know where the program is. Well, somebody's got to go in and fill in the blanks.
No.
Yeah, somewhere's not finished. Who wants to fill in the blank?
I just go every time it's so.
Too bad.
Which one?
Okay, well, see, when we come down here, we didn't know what to put in here.
I see.
We didn't know what to put in here. See, every time we refer to one of these names are not in machines. This is just between the programmer and the assemblers helping out. So now save area is another name. This is at offset 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're like, so let's go here.
And we need to 0 and 20?
Yeah, 020.
Yes.
Okay.
And this
Okay.
one,
Oh, this one.
it's like pretty
I
hard.
don't know, we don't know this yet. So it's like, there's 3 numbers.
Plus 4?
Yeah.
It's like 0 to 4, but or I don't know if it's decimal table.
Okay, this is 20 plus 4, 24, 024, yes. 024, yeah, very good, very good. Yeah. I thought it was C. Okay.
Okay, let's see safer. Oh.
Oh, no. 20,
0 plus 12. It's
12 is, humans call it 12.
yeah.
But you call it
I will count like
C.
C. Yes. 0 0 C.
No?
But 0 to C.
But why have always written 0C?
Like what?
There.
Oh,
Yeah.
save area, you already know it's going to be using base register.
Я наконец-то прозрел,
You already know it's going to be using base register.
Okay.
See, using this relative place, here is 08. okay? And 12 is the base register. So every time I write something, from here on, every time I write something, I'm looking for a base register. But I'm using the word, see, the say variable is really what? An address, a base register plus a displacement. Well, I already know the base register because it is register 12.
Okay, but after we know the state value, yeah, we only execute these programs where we need to write additional information, only these lines.
Yeah.
But we go through all the programs.
It's a true pass. We had to go through this twice.
Okay, and when you have the offset like here 8, have you count to see you just was doing like
8, 9, next is, what's after 9?
8?
Plus 3.
Okay.
See.
Where, like it will be 9. Or
Yeah.
what?
9, what, 8,
This 2.
9,
And then this 2.
9,
Okay.
A, B.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Nice. Thanks.
So, you guys kind of okay with this?
Yeah.
You're not, what's important isn't that you're going to sit here and do this automatically, but with a lot of trouble you could. You know, it might take you a long time, not like a test or anything, but a long time you could get an idea what the assembler is doing. You need to understand this to do any kind of reversing, anything like that. In addition, these hex things, knowing them and getting used to them is going to be extremely useful in data communications. If you're in datacom or have anything to do with data communications, you're doing, one thing you're doing is looking at hex all day long. Because if you have electronic eyeballs looking through what's going through the wire, it's not going to be human, it's going to be...
Where can I buy electronic eyeballs?
Well, you could install it, and you could install with Wireshark.
Okay.
I think they changed the name of it, but it used to be called Wireshark.
Last time I was in their site, it was Wireshark.
Oh, okay.
Maybe necessary, but it's Wireshark.
Yeah, Wireshark. But so this, and the reason I think this is useful, and I think it should be taught in
Exactly.
in an early computer course, one of your first ones. It's useful for everything. You're constantly using this stuff.
In addition to your words, I have just ordered more than 5 sample analyzers, which give you such bit stream, and you need to analyze what is going on with some of your chip.
Yes.
Що ми йдемо до SA автополу. It's okay.
Oh, добре, все.
Which one? You don't understand.
Everything is okay.
Okay.
You're just being nice. Just saying, oh yeah, I get it.
No. No.
No, you feel-
I studied.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the fastest I've ever taught somebody this. It's really good. Yeah.
Really nice, really in time lecture, because you talked several times, it's really important.
Yes. Yeah.
Я надіюся, цього більше не побачу.
Да.
And what's going to happen is, what you're going to see in a dump is this kind of stuff.
When, can I ask, when we reverse engineer the program, we see only machine code.
Yeah, but let's see. When you engineer the computer, yeah, if you build a computer, this is what you're going to see. You're more likely to see this sort of stuff in the Internet of Things, the PICs, the Arduinos, those kind of things. You're likely to see this kind of stuff because you're doing a lot of, like, if the bit's on, it'll turn a switch off.
Here, for example, if you have some EEPROM memory chip, we would work with them in 2 months. You should send them their address. It's, for example, 10 or 20 bits. Then you should send some common word where you have common code and several bits as option of that common. You need to write, to read, which page, bulk read, write, byte only read, and whatever, many of them. Then you should send address and the data. And if something do not work in your scan, your device, you need to look at the bit stream and say, oh, here should be 1, but here is 0, why? Oh, one more type of error. Oh, here should be 0, 1, 0, 1. I have 2 zeros, 2 ones, 2 zeros, 2 ones. Oh, I have missed my frequency. It's 2 times lower than I expected.
And how much people from the third course can do it?
Up to quarter, maybe 1/3.
Jesus. It will be less on our course.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, good.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to go to 2 more things I want to do. One is how this instruction works. Let's take a look on branch on condition register, BCR.
It's register to register.
Yeah. But then when you look at it, it's going to be like an M1
R1.
R1.
No, R1, R2. On the machine instruction.
Yeah. I'll show you. Now, remember we had something called the PSW.
Yeah, it's
No.
IAR.
So the PSW contains 2 things that most of us are concerned with.
Okay.
One of them is the instruction address register, pointing to the next instruction, and the other one is a condition code. And the condition code is 2 bits. Now, all machines have some condition code defined in various ways, but they're all going to say a couple things: equal or 0. So if the result of an arithmetic statement is 0, then we'll set the condition code 0. If the result is negative, you'll set it to 1. If it's positive, the bits will be, so here's equal, minus, plus, 2-bit. Good? Now, what does this have to do with my mask? This mask is mapped to this: equal, low, high, overflow. Oh, there. BE. So this mask are 4 bits.
Short is condition.
Yeah.
Slow is condition. It's overflow and hide.
Yeah. So internally what's happening is that this mask is defining. So if the mask is a E, 1110 is an E.
The next would be F.
1111 is F.
Ah, хорошо.
Are you thinking like a human?
I'm just too tired for it.
Okay. When it gets late, you revert back to humanity. Okay.
To sleep.
So the last thing I want to talk about is, this is just a problem when you're dealing with computers. In IBM, the bits are numbered from 0, the bits in the byte. They're numbered from 0 through 7. Others, but I'm just putting a question mark. Yes. So if you go to like PCs, they're like this. We're doing it like this. So you have to, so the reason I'm telling you this is one of the things I've developed is an instant erase brain. When I go to another machine, I can't remember a thing about the last machine.
Like, if 1 is at the beginning, it's the same as we learned 1 at the end. Nice.
So you have to find out, when you're looking at the manufacturer's documentation, make sure you note how the bits are numbered in the byte. You see? Because the highest value is where? Okay? Do I have that right?
When you are programming those our development board, of course CPU use PC order, not ABM. But many chips, accelerometers, memory chips use reverse order, and you should always select: do you need direct or reverse bit order?
Yes. And there's something they call big endian or little endian. You don't need to memorize this, but just be aware when they're talking about this. They're talking about the order of the bits and also the bytes.
Like 0, 1 can be 1 or 2, depending
On the machine. That's why you're getting the big bucks. That's why you're making the big money, revenues.
No, greatness, please.
Oh, okay. The big dollar, euros. That's why you're gonna get the big euros, because you know these crazy words. Like big endian, little endian. Your mom doesn't know about that. Your grandmother know about this? See? So she goes, boy, I sent my son, my grandson, I sent him to college, university, and he knows big endian, little endian.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
This is a good day's work? I worked you guys hard.
Yeah.
Wait, Romans, did I answer Romans' questions?
Yes.
You're just gonna say that anyway, just so you get out of here. I say, oh, good, like, well, we can go.
I sent him a photo of this lady.
Yeah.
She was confused. He was confused.
He's going to be a lot worse now. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Could you give us such a task for homework or something like that?
You want to practice this?
Yeah.
Okay, you can practice alone.
Yeah, more, you need to practice it because
Okay.
when you didn't done, you do not know it.
Yeah, now here's what's going to happen. Did you get that program working with the assembler?
So
At
much.
S370?
But we were doing it like before you came.
Let's try once more at home without any support.
Okay. Yeah. Хорошо.
Yes. Does the simulator work for your computers? As for now.
Ще ні, бо ми оце робили і ми не встановлювали. Але
Okay, we will see.
Yeah.
it will work.
It will work.
I will send some problems. Not problems, I'll send some listings. Because when you get a listing, after you do assembly, your listing will show what? It's going to show it's going to show what you wrote.
And program.
It's after it runs, when the program runs, it'll show what you wrote, what it's assembled into. It'll show the offsets.
Okay, can you make mistake in this listing to for us to find it?
Yes.
It will be interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ну, якщо завдання буде цікаве, що якось приймати.
In the United States, you always joke, there's one very enthusiastic student that says, isn't today the day of the quiz? Aren't we supposed to get a quiz today?
No, she was very enthusiastic and said like
Yes.
you to give us a task.
Yes.
I said like to give us
Like 2 tasks.
an interesting test.
Yes. Okay, I will.
Teamwork.
Да. Тому що.
Learning is taking place, yes?
Yeah.
What about next time?
I'm trying to think what to do next time.
No, I mean which day and which time.
We go back then, we'll revert to normal time?
No, we need to agree when we meet next time.
Oh,
Friday 3 o'clock or Friday 5 o'clock?
Like I can on Friday. Anytime.
I can at 5, but you're kind.
How about Monday?
good. Monday?
Yeah, і тоді інтенсивно буде робота.
Можна в суботу.
How was your Labor Day?
What did I do? Yeah, I just did a lot of reading. That's all. So Monday was Labor Day, and I got caught up with a lot of odds and ends. That's really, I just had a lot of things to do.
And which time? 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock? 3 Monday.
It's free.
Our normal time, 3 o'clock,
What
Monday.
day is Monday?
Monday.
Or ой, число. А
12, 10.
я не можу.
Ну, чудесно.
А в суботу?
Дайте.
Пожалуйста. Jim, how about Saturday? Because Monday is some problems too.
Oh, Saturday's good.
You can come here at Saturday.
Yeah,
3 o'clock at Saturday.
3 o'clock Saturday.
Okay, yep,
Okay. So
thanks.
send me a note that I should show up at 3 o'clock Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll send you.
okay. Alright.
Може, ще поговорити бетон з Java, бо я завтикала тоді і подивилася.
А ви можете мені йти на
You
страху?
guys did really well. Very good.
Would you like some coffee, man?
Yeah, would you?
Yeah.
Mike.
Я навіть не скажу, чим я займався. Мені забули за ці плюс заплатити.
Я?
Ні, не ми, а мені волонтери.